Well, hello everyone. I'm Chris Kotlowski with the Rise Up 21 program, and I am super excited to be able to just have a nice conversation this afternoon with Rumaisa, who is a transformational coach. Hello.
Hi, Christine.
So we're going to talk today about sharing our true selves. And I think it's something that people struggle with, especially in this busy world where we're going here and there and everywhere. And there isn't a lot of time to just sit unless we schedule it with another person. So let's talk about, first of all, what does it mean to be real or authentic or our true selves with others? What does that mean to you?
Being true, real, and authentic. So, being okay with being all of you, all the feelings, right? Feeling all the feelings. It's okay to show up sad or not feeling your best or not having that smile on your face when you enter a room or someone sees you, right? I think we've talked about this in the past. That
Yes.
putting on that happy face and pleasing others, but being authentic for me, there's been a lot of work been done on
Okay.
on what's okay. It's okay if I don't feel like it's okay to say no. It's okay to not agree with everything also, right?
Mhm.
So to me, being authentic is just speaking up what you truly believe, but sometimes we don't even know what we truly feel or believe because we haven't done that work.
And do you think the work is, I know for me, it was a journey of really getting to know myself and identifying with my feelings and my emotions so then I could express my true self. And that is really a journey. It doesn't just happen. And feeling brave and kind of tiptoeing with a few people in sharing ourselves. Would you agree?
Oh, yes, most definitely. I think it's very it does take a lot of work to even know. I think I was just talking to in my group coaching, just
Mm-hmm.
share about your feelings. There's so many feelings to be had, but if we can just like pinpoint into feeling, identifying each and every one of them to know that it's okay to feel, like for me, it wasn't okay to be angry. Don't leave the house until, don't
That
leave
was
the house.
my challenge as well.
Yeah. So having
And
to be smiling, and even when you're hurt or angry, you just hold it inside or stuff it in, but then it ends up coming out in so many other ways if you're not
right.
expressing it, right?
Mm-hmm. And I think a part of being real is listening to the other person and and then thinking and just being in the moment so that we can be honest and real with them. And the more we practice that, whether it's between you and I or anyone, it helps us identify with our true emotions when we're really listening to how other people are feeling and what they're expressing.
Yeah. You think about, I love that you're saying that because you think about how many times a conversation's going on, but then are we present or are we thinking about how am I going to answer that? What am I going to
Right.
say? Are
Right.
we thinking about, well, if I say this, will it come across? Like all those like under layers of how will it sound? Will it sound silly? Do I know what I'm talking about? Like all of those belief systems that show up
Right.
even in real time because we're creating these pillows between us because we're not even like being all of us. If we were with our spouse or with our kiddos, right, we'd be
Mhm.
who we are. Like here,
Right.
what you see is what, I mean, we're fortunate, being able to be ourselves with our spouses, but there's people who hold back, right? Or, you know, you think about like, and it's funny in a way, but I think about, like I know people who, shop and hide the bags in the car, right? You shop on Amazon, you hide things in the car. I don't want my husband to know.
So true.
Or, oh, don't tell this person that I did this, right? So being authentic, right, is I'm gonna be all of me, and I'm gonna have those tough conversations, even though I know that I probably shouldn't have spent that, but I did the good, I did the damage. So having those tough, real conversations, which are leading us towards more truth and authenticity and conversation.
Right. Right. And do you think, like, what would be the top reasons why we hold back from being authentic and real? Is the number one thing fear and judgment?
Yeah,
What else do you think falls into that?
yeah.
Not to fit in or
It's
let other people down?
yeah, all of that. I think it's
Mhm.
what has happened, what hurts have happened in your past, what fears have happened, what shaped you to where you are today, right? So what are your
Right.
thought patterns like, and have you been hurt, and burned before, right? You think of
Mhm.
friendships, you think of relationships, so many times dating even. It's like,
Right.
oh, I don't want to, how we categorize all men or all or
Right. Right.
all women are like this or all, so we put this typecast, which is like, no, we're not all like this, not all men are like this, but
Mhm.
really looking at someone individually for who they are.
Exactly. And I think what falls into the hiding behind the walls is it's easier to pretend. It's harder to connect and just share ourselves, or maybe it's a little bit of, we have shame or things from our past that creep up where we're just so uncomfortable that it's easier to just be the same old without stepping out of that bubble to reach out to others. And what we find is, my next question is, what happens when we start the journey of sharing? Who do we share with? Putting you on the spot. Where do we start? And what do we start with?
Yeah, I think when we are not being our authentic selves, right? So we're not, I want to go back where we're not sharing. So we're not sharing our deep thoughts or feelings, emotions. So we're stuffing them down. And then we may be, it may, like every time there's a friend or the family member that you want to say the things, but you're not saying it to them, but you're saying it about them. So
Right,
you're
right.
persecuting them in your head. And
Sure.
what
Playing the tape.
you're playing the tape and you're not like it, you're not speaking your truth, so they have no idea how you're feeling, so then
Yeah,
you're avoiding them and all of that, but it does come out in ways people can feel if you're avoiding them or if you're not, like even without having the conversation. um
right.
so to your question, like what happens, yeah, you're not having these real raw authentic relationships, so instead you have everyone by perimeter,
Arms-
right? You're scanning for
Mhm.
threats. You're looking, who's going to burn me next? Who's going to hurt me? You're leading from fear, and
Yes.
rather than being you and you being in control. So I guess to answer your question of what happens or what happens when you're not, is that the question? Was I put on a
Yeah.
tangent?
And who do we start with?
You start with. Yeah. So I mean, for me personally, I look back and I was, here you go, friends, since a very little girl, very like social and I want to be your friend, I want to be your friend,
Hmm.
because I had a yearning to connect, right? I wanted to connect and I really wanted
Right,
to make these
right,
friendships. And then you have to start creating these boundaries. But then if you haven't learned those boundaries, you kind of
right,
take, you let people, do things and that are not maybe acceptable, or you feel hurt, you give them a second chance, a third chance, whatever. um,
right.
so I think it really stems down to what are your core beliefs and what makes you feel good. Do the people around you, do you feel good around them? Are they your allies? Do they have your best interests? So I mean, now it's like it's my husband and like a small, right? Like you can remember when you're younger, there's like 10, 15. I'm gonna invite
Right,
everyone to my
right.
birthday. And then now it's like, here are my people.
Yeah.
A hand.
Exactly. Exactly. And I like to think like they're your priority people or your vault people where it's safe. You can just let the layers come off. And what I think, which I'll go to next, is the benefits of how we feel when we've had those relationships and we've felt the fear and we've opened ourselves up. And what do you think those benefits are? I have my own set, but I'm just curious what yours are.
Yeah, it's really scary, right? It's scary to really be vulnerable, but then when
Yeah.
you did your work, you start stepping into your power of like, okay, this is what I like and what I don't like, and this is what I will tolerate or not
Right.
tolerate. And then you start building this confidence and you start feeling better and you start doing more things that you enjoy
Yes.
and feeling nourished and satisfied and really like living a good life, like a good life. Like not having to worry. I can't even tell you. I think we've talked about this before. The thoughts in the head or the worries
Right.
that takes up so much space and energy where you
Mhm.
can't even, you're not very productive. You're not doing the things that you want. It's holding you back from
Back, just the freedom and the complete joy, and just, it's not that we don't care about what people think, but it just is, um, having that brave stance of, this is who I am, and not everybody's going to love us, not everybody's going to like us, but we're leading with honesty and truth.
authenticity. Yeah.
Authenticity. I wrote down relief, and just a general like weight off of our shoulders of just going, ah.
Less anxiety, less stress, less worry about. And I have to say, like during quarantine and just with COVID and everything, I think it's because before it's you go here, you go there, you're in all these places, but really asking yourself what truly matters to me, who do I want to spend my time and energy with? Because
Yeah,
you have a
yes,
choice. Like really
yes,
being okay with, oh, I have a choice. I don't have to say yes. Because I know there's a lot of people out there that are yes people, and I
right.
really relate to that. And I remember how exhausting that was.
It was very exhausting, and I did a little exercise for myself over, well, just in the beginning stages of quarantine, thinking I want to surround myself with positive, uplifting people that want to have deep conversations. And then I really kind of thought about that, and it was very limiting. So I thought, we have buckets, or however you want to categorize our people that make us truly who we are. And they are the people that make us giggle just by listening to them, or the people that, are our adventurous group where we can just explore. And then you do have those deep thinkers where we can challenge each other's thoughts. And it's just kind of nice to know, like, there's different parts of us that will expose to different friend groups and associates in
We
that
gra-
real world, in our real world.
yes, we gravitate to these people, right? Because we have that instilled in us, but sometimes it's easier to see it in someone else and not ourselves, but we
Right,
gravitate to them because we have it in us. And so, you know,
right.
it definitely is owning that. Like it brings us some of these people, it brings it out in us and it reminds us. And then, it's you surround yourself with the people you want to be, that you aspire to be, or who you want to be. And
It's so true. It's what we heard as a child. It's who we choose to associate with, and that really holds true for, a young child, a teenager, young adult. I actually asked these questions to my 19-year-old daughter, and it was so wonderful to hear her comments. And so maybe as a little exercise, our interview can take its own legs to families of, teenagers and young adults, and really talking about being their own true selves and owning themselves.
absolutely.
Well,
Yeah,
do you have anything else to add? Did we cover everything?
I
Put
think
you on
so.
the spot?
I
Yeah.
mean, how have you been? And I've reversed the how like, since being, yeah, since living an authentic life and just in your life, in your work, in your family, all of that. Like, what does your life look like?
I feel like since I have started journaling more and really connecting my mind with my soul, what comes to mind first is just peace of mind and true happiness, and not thinking over and over, like, did I say the right thing? Did I hurt someone's feelings? That is totally exhausting. Just leading with my heart and with good intentions, I think has been the biggest thing in the last 6 months that has freed me from judging my own self and feeling as if other people are judging me, when who knows? We don't know what other people are thinking. And so just releasing that and has just been a huge game changer for me.
Yeah. Yeah, it
And
is.
not being afraid. I have always lived by the statement, and even from when our children were really young, 5, 7, and 8, feel the fear and do it anyway. But that's easy when it comes to doing. But when it comes to us with our real selves, it's getting past the hurdles of maybe past regrets, past hurt, and looking to the future. I always like the analogy of we can live by our rear view mirror and looking backwards and looking backwards. And I finally just adopted the windshield mentality of, this is where I'm at. This is what I'm going to look forward to, and that is the windshield. And there's a big, bright, view when we choose to look for that. And I think that only can take place when we connect to our true selves and we feel the courage to share.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes. It's the feeling that fear and feeling the heart rate and feeling that scare, those tender moments, but then we don't understand in the moment, right? We try to control it, or we try to navigate it, we try to do something, but then at the end of the day, it's like, allow it and trust. And
Yes, and the allowing part can be crying, or it could be screaming, or it could be just going for a walk and but I think when we allow, we expand. And the more we practice it, the more it becomes more natural. And our worlds, just our daily experiences with other people, change.
yeah,
Cool, huh?
we don't sweat the small stuff so much. I mean, we sweat it, but we're like, oh, this reminds me. You can kind of think of, oh, this reminds me of this time when this happened and I got through this. So
Right.
you have the tools to just like,
Yeah.
okay, I'm in my place. I'm gonna let it out. I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna be in this for a few days, but I know it's not my forever.
And one of my favorite sayings in that comes to mind is, "This too shall pass." And then we, move forward.
We move forward.
Well, thank you for taking the time to, meet with me and talk about this awesome subject. And I have a feeling we'll be doing more work together and coming up with, and if anyone has any suggestions for us to talk about or research, let us know, right?
Yes, absolutely. There's always
Okay.
ways we can dig in. Thanks for having me.
Yes, you're welcome. And we'll talk to you soon. Have a great day.
Okay, you too.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.